She's saying, oh man, because I just said we have to do our woo, woo for ReaLAWstate with Patti and Kate. Woo, woo. She's not going to do it, see? But she didn't come up with anything else. So she can't even see her hand. Anyway, let's adjust this. Somehow we lose ourselves. So I don't know. We don't know how in the course of doing this. We actually even moved it back so that whatever, you don't care. Yeah. We have to stage ourselves better, Patti.
Yes, we have to stage ourselves.
Yeah,
what a great topic.
Yes. So yeah, what a good idea. Let's talk about like how to create visual manifestations of awesomeness.
Wow, that is quite a statement.
Oh, look at that. We got hearts for that. Thank you.
And it's funny that this topic even came up because I was looking on realtor.com, like I do a lot, and you just see different pictures that different agents do, and they're using their cell phones, which drives me crazy. And then, and not only are the pictures bad, but like, what's all the crap in the pictures? I know. Like, you're not even looking at the room. But so I think staging is an important topic, and I'm sure this is your wheelhouse. Yes. So what's your kind of your first step? What do you think?
Okay, so first let me just give a little history.
Yeah.
So we home staged, with Bold Moves when staging wasn't even a thing. Yeah. When we started the company, every single one of our listings had a home staging consultation.
That's cool.
At the time. And one of the things that I realized really quickly was the value of like the dollar value. This is back, remember, we started in the recession.
Yeah.
So like the dollar value of the houses that had been staged versus the ones that had not been. And, so we had people like my cousin Martha, who actually moved out of her house and let us stage it soup to nuts, top to bottom. They moved out. Like they literally moved out. 5 kids, they moved out. Yeah. So anyway, so we saw the value of it. And what happened was, we incorporated it into all of our listings. And now staging is, I think, very commonplace. And I think that now consumers have an idea about it. So, consumers, for the most part, know, as you say, like when they look at pictures, they all say, why would someone put these pictures up there? Or why do we have another picture of the toilet?
Oh my gosh.
So
you can all assume there's a toilet in the house.
Yes, exactly.
Of a toilet.
So anyway, so staging has kind of become mainstream.
Yeah.
And a lot of properties that need to have done soup to nuts, they will do it.
Yeah.
However, there's a lot of things now that homeowners, since they understand the value, can do, and we can do together to really help, get that house ready.
And I think it must help to explain it a little bit too, kind of the popularity of HGTV when you see kind of some of those flippers and when they're designing and making things clean. And
absolutely. So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
So when you are meeting with a client and you walk in the house, and by the way, we've walked into houses of people who have, a hoarding disease, where you walk in and there literally is a row like this, right, that you walk through, and you have to back up, but you can't even walk through. So I'm not really talking about a property like that. Like I'm talking about, I'm talking about generally speaking.
Okay.
Okay.
So the average house.
Yes. And I'm going to kind of talk about this as people who are living there versus people who are, say, selling the parents' house.
Okay.
Okay. So there's kind of two different ways going. The first is they've got to purge, and purging means that you get rid of like at least half the crap in your house. Look, we got people laughing. Isn't that funny? Yeah. So purging to me is like two-pronged. One is declutter.
All right.
Right. So that means that you've got to get rid of and the way that we phrase it is start packing now. Right. So like start packing now, getting your stuff out so that people can see themselves there. That's all.
And so kind of starting with like, say, your knickknacks or your, those gifts that people gave you and that glass vase and, things that you just.
So, the thing that people give you, like, and we don't want to throw them away because we don't want to hurt feelings.
No,
so now it's time to move and you got, anyways.
Wrap them up.
The second part of the purging is depersonalizing.
Okay.
So that includes books.
Yep.
Right. So, I mean, I get sucked into books all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, that one's got a Holy Bible. That one's got this. Oh, I never picture them as Holy Bible people. Blah, 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 blah. Or, they're into yoga. Or, they're into, look at those mindful cards. When they leave the room, I'm going to look at those cards. And I look at the books. I get
barely Kate snooping through your house.
but see, the thing is that everybody's curious.
Yes. Very much so.
So it's not just me.
Yeah.
So the other part of that is hobbies. And that kind of goes to what you're talking about, your collectibles.
Yeah.
And also, like if you are, whatever it is that your hobby is and you've got a ton of them, room, that's going to suck people in too, right? So we want to minimize the opportunity for anybody to get sucked in.
And I would also think when I sold my last house, I had this huge wall in the living room that I made kind of my kids' picture wall. So, pictures when they're little and then a little bit older and then important, events or whatever. And so, and it had a little theme and I thought it looked fantastic. However, that was probably a little too personal.
Well, it is. And honestly, I got to tell you, like, this is the part where I don't know which one's easier. Like if the person lives there, like they still, like they may feel like, I don't want to take all my pictures down of my kids because then they'll feel bad because their pictures aren't up, or I don't think that's necessary because maybe someone wants to see this beautiful photography, and they're proud of their kids. And then the other part comes on this depersonalization is when you're doing it for someone else, you're afraid to move their stuff sometimes. So you don't want to throw anything away and you don't want to pack it away because you just don't know.
But at the same time, don't you want people to be able to vision themselves in there. So if they walked into that living room of mine and now they feel like they're in my house because it's my kids on there.
So that's why 100%, the whole entire purpose of staging versus say interior design or anything else is getting that property so that the people can envision themselves in all parts of that property. So you're 100% right about that.
Yeah, neutralize.
So tell us about some of the bold tools that we have for people on this step of this.
Well, as we've talked about in other episodes, so sorry to beat a dead horse if you heard it before, but it's important. So we've been thinking through all these stages of selling a home. And so one of the things we're doing is we have our bold boxes and our bold canvas tarps and our plastic tarps. So they're nice canvas tarps. So we bring them into your house, put them wherever you want, and then you get to pack those up yourself. We take them away for free. So those are things more of donating and stuff.
Right.
So you just, it's not so much your kids' pictures because you're keeping those and taking those with you. But if it's, you know what, I don't want to see those trinkets anymore. Like I'm all done with the Hummels or,
or blankets.
Old dishes. You know what? When I go to my new place, I'm getting some nice dishes. I'm getting rid of my hand-me-down dishes. Put those in the bold boxes. We'll take them away for free and help you declutter.
Right, and we'll repurpose it. And we may even be able to get you a tax deduction on that. But we're not going there yet. Anyway, so we will help you with that. And we also will use our bold bus we will back that little bold bus up. You can fill it with stuff if it's going somewhere and we'll take it there for you and you can unload it. So we're making this step a lot easier for people. And again, we will help you with this. And we will, and if we recommend to you that it goes, then you should listen. And there's also
there's a reason why you're hiring experts, right?
Yes, and that's part of the thing that's the whole thing about real estate, right? Is that we're going to get to a position where we are technically not needed. You're going to be working with us because of our trusted advisor status, the things that our experience can help you with.
Yeah, and I have a couple, as we go down this little list here we have of topics. I have a couple of examples when I'm the client and I listen to the realtor, and thank God I did because that's what sold the house. And if I had just sold my house by myself online, nobody was telling me that.
No, nobody does. And, so anyway, you have to get your stuff out. And sometimes it's a process, and we get that. And maybe perfection is not what we're going for. We're going for progress. Right. The next is clean it. If I could say to you, if you had $500 that you could invest on any parts of these things, and you said, what should I do? I'd say hire the most professional cleaners you can and have them clean top to bottom. Because, people, a clean house, no matter what the condition of it is, a clean house just goes so far.
Right. And it may be even parts that you don't realize, like in your baseboards where like dust and stuff gets in there. And if you don't have the little attachment that can get in there and suck all that out.
Well, we become blind. When I used to work at this other company a long time ago in a different industry, we used to have somebody come in and it was like you go into the bathroom and you like literally sit there and see all the stuff that people have become blind on. Like go to a room and sit there and see what people have become blind on. I know, for example, in my house, we got a TV probably about 2 months ago, and the old TV is still sitting on the floor. We just don't see it. You know what I mean? And I look at it and I'm like, I gotta get that thing out of here.
That happens to all of us.
I know. And so anyway, so cleaning the property, and the other part about cleaning is, I'm gonna say, tacked into that would be neutralizing. So one of them is neutralizing odors. And tell me your story on that.
Yes, I have a story on that. So it's no surprise, or for most of you, that I have Great Danes. Well, I have one now. But so at the time I was selling my house, I had 2 big dogs. And one of them really smelled. I loved him dearly, and we washed him, but he was just a stinky guy. But after you live in the house for so long, sometimes you don't smell it. It's almost like when smokers don't think they stink, but you know if
when you walk into a smoker's house.
Yes, you sure do. And so the same with the dog people. So they walk in my house and they can smell it. And so the realtor who I was working with at the time, whom I love, and she was very honest with me, and that's what you want, is an honest realtor. Right. And she was like, I love ya, but we're gonna do something about the dog. And they weren't moving out anytime soon, so we had to figure out how to neutralize it. And so, of course, we tried the candles. It was cold. I was opening all the windows to let it air out and whatnot, cleaning, scrubbing, using all the chemicals I could to clean it up. And one of the tidbits I'm gonna give you now, which sounds so silly, but I'm a big fan of vanilla, so I'm buying all kinds of vanilla candles and the Glade plugins, all that good stuff. After I cleaned, and all it smelled was like vanilla dog. So it just
made like the nice, yummiest dogs ever.
I'm telling you, it just accentuated the dog smell. So you really kind of want the apple cinnamon. That's the one that seemed to really help cover up some of the dog smell. But we were able to like scrub it down. And really the smell was actually in the furniture. So once we cleaned out the cloth and stuff, it was much better.
Yes, and a little beware on that is you want to be central in your smell. Yeah. You know, there's been times that two things. One is I had a property that had a lot of different plugins, a lot of different smells, and so two things happened. One is you didn't really know what smell it was, so like go with an apple cinnamon theme and stay with it.
In every room.
Yes, and so that was one of them. The second is that if it's overpowering, then people are going to wonder what you're masking.
Yes.
So it's
what's going on here.
So it's not meant to, you know, overwhelm people. So that's a part of it. And the other one, I had a house that had a bunch of cats, and I remember saying to them when I got the listing, I'm like, so how many cats do you have? Oh, no. And she said, did I tell you this? No. And she says, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, might there be some little kitties around somewhere? And she goes, no, some of them are really old. I'm like, there might be a dead cat. The cat smelled so much. The house smelled so bad like cats. Anyway, that one was really hard to get rid of.
You needed a lot of apple and a lot of cinnamon.
Yes, exactly. It was hard. It was very hard.
But that also goes back to neutralizing and making it not so personal, because if somebody comes in, they don't have animals. The last thing they want to go in there is smell animals, you know, even though the animals are going to be going with the homeowner.
Yes,
but
it is. But
it's hard to get past that.
It is hard to get past it, and it's hard to believe that the smell will actually go away. Yeah. We also have a saying in real estate, if you can smell it, you can't sell it.
Oh, interesting. I do like that. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to clean it and neutralize it. And again, this is something that might be something that you rinse and repeat and do again, right? Because you may have cleaned it for the launch and for the photos, and then after being back in there again, and the dog drooling again, and the kids leaving their stuff out again, whatever, you might have to go in and put that on your regular schedule. You know, just be hyper vigilant on that one. Now, I will tell you that, you know, I've worked with a lot of families that they're like, I just can't get all my stuff together. We have tips for that. You know, like I will go with a laundry basket ahead of time and throw a bunch of stuff in a laundry basket, put it out in my car while I'm showing the house, and then put the stuff back after, you know, because sometimes it just, we don't want people. So again, back to the stress thing. If you feel like I'm too overwhelmed, I could never move because how would I get this all out? Yeah. This would be one of those things. Yeah. Okay, so the next is repair and repaint. Yes. So when you first think you're going to be selling that house is, again, like, when things are broken in your house and you're used to it, like you become blind to it. Right. You know, like I always tell the story when I'm teaching real estate, like we had all of our doorknobs fell off in my house when I was growing up. And we got so used to it that we were just oblivious to all the doorknobs being gone. We opened doorknobs. I don't know why that's so funny. We opened them with coat hangers, right? So, but it never dawned on me, like, you know what? Putting it in a doorknob would take 5 minutes. Right?
So when guests come to your house, I can go to the bathroom. Oh wait, never mind.
Well, I'm just saying that maybe that was. This explains a lot, doesn't it?
So much.
So anyway, the point is that you get used to things, and all of a sudden, it no longer is a big thing. You know, I know that. But I'm not going to tell another story because I'm feeling like a little vulnerable right now. So anyways, repair things. So make a list with them, you know, and ask them to repair things. And, you know, sometimes they get a little grouchy, and it's like, I get it, because, you know, the whole thing about like getting ready to move is there's a lot of parts to that. Yeah. So first of all, we have cleaners. We forgot to tell you. So if there's cleaners that you need, we have some contractors that we work with. Yeah. As far as repairing, and the second part of this is repainting. Yeah. So, you know, one of the things is like, you know, there's a listing that I have that has a lot of different colors. And the observation of someone was like, whoa, I'm gonna have to paint every wall in here. And I'm like, no, it's new paint. Yeah. They're like, yeah, it's like a freaking box of crayons, like, you know. So what you wanted, they didn't say that, but that's what they meant, right? Yeah. So the thing is that you might want to repaint it to neutralizing. Yep. And a repaint job in a house is not expensive. We have painters. Yep. Patty herself is an amazing painter, but she's not for sale. She's your attorney. For sale. She's a lawyer, right? We have painters that are, you know. So anyways, but the idea being like, let's get these repairs done. Let's get the repainting done. And let's, you know, maybe even freshen a coat, because if it's looking tired and dirty or whatever, and it doesn't get clean. So two simple things. And again, they don't feel simple because they seem insurmountable, but we have people to help you with that. And I would give my little personal story, because I like to give my little tidbits as the consumer. Yes. So two on that made me think is, so in the house I was in before, I had these candles on the mantle and there was a slanted ceiling. And what I didn't realize was, I guess I'm just going to call it soot. I'm not sure what, but the smoke was causing the ceiling right above it to become kind of a grayish. And like you said, I didn't see it, right? Because I lived every day and I was smelling these lovely candles, apple cinnamon. And all of a sudden, so the realtor was like, you know, you might want to just throw on a fresh coat. And I was like, what was on the ceiling? So I'm looking up, you know, because I'm thinking of bad ceilings, one with water stains, whatever, not But that's thinking. What they think they are. Yeah. That's what they don't think that it's your candle. Yeah. So we did. I mean, it was not difficult. We threw up some paint. They looked so much better. And then I was kind of shocked and kind of disgusted that I've been living like that. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I had doorknobs. I had doorknobs. You could use the facilities in my house and not worry. Oh my gosh. But another good story, and I think this is so important. So you think you might have to do repairs, but you may not have to do the repairs you think you have to do. Right, and this is where a real estate professional comes in handy. Yeah, so the first house I ever sold, we have this old carpet. So we thought, oh, I'm prepping for getting ready to sell. We'll take out this old carpet and we'll replace it. So we ordered the new carpet. We had thrown up the old one. Underneath was hardwood floors. They were not in good condition. There was like paint splatter. There was a couple of like replaced boards or whatever. So we were just waiting. So the realtor came over to, you know, assess the house and look at it. We said, oh, don't worry. We ordered the carpet. It's going to be put down. And she said, oh my God, do not install carpet over these floors. And I was looking at her like, what? But they're not in great condition. She said, but they don't want your carpet. They want the floors. If you don't want to refinish them, it's fine. They will refinish them, but it's a much better selling point than even a brand new rug. So the rug guy was kind of mad, but we put some throw rugs over it so people could see that there were hardwood floors, and that turned out to be a huge selling point. Yes. And I didn't know. I had a house that I sold recently that had new carpeting over hardwood floors, and they wouldn't pull them up. And I will tell you that people don't believe you. Like when I say there's hardwood floors under here, and they're like, oh, nice. And they're like, well, yeah, like how do you, like they don't trust it. And you have to find a spot in the corner. And again, if it's brand new, and if they want the carpet, then you don't want to yank it up with like your little pliers. So so you're right. So listen to your professional on that. Yeah, so before you even complete the repair, it's worthwhile to have the realtor come over, take a look, and she could say, yes, do that, and no, don't do that. I mean, and you'd probably save yourself a few bucks. You know? Yeah, that was nice. Yeah. Okay, now we're getting to the fun part, which is the staging, okay? And the staging is, so the real purpose of it is to create a scenario where that person can see themselves in the house. And one of the things that a home stager, a certified home stager, somebody who's been trained in it, what they will do is they will know how to maximize the furniture that you have to, they may, you know, move couches out, you know, into different places so that opens up a room or whatever. And I remember one of the staging situations we had was like my client wrote me a message, you know, texted me and said, oh my God, I never would have thought about putting that couch there. That girl's brilliant, you know, worth her money in gold kind of thing. So again, what they're looking for is they are looking to make that room functional and simple. So I like to say that it's like simple. It's again back to that neutral thing, and then also you have a couple things that have a pop of color in it. You know, and it creates a better flow that people can walk through. And I have to say, when I decluttered my house in Mary before I moved to Mattapoisett, I had taken so much stuff out. And I'm looking around, and it's just personal stuff that, you know, people are giving you want to display, whatever. It wasn't needed. Right. And once I had taken all that out, I was like,
this is the way to live. So my house now, like, there's hardly anything personal there at all.
Right.
I'm such a minimalist now because I just like it's looked better. It's interesting.
It is, and it's something that I mean, there's a whole movement going on about simplicity and getting rid of stuff, and you know, honoring it that it was you know, part of your life at that time, and then saying goodbye and let it go. You know, make somebody else happy.
Yeah.
You know, so
I like it.
Yeah, so there's a whole piece of that, and and yes, we do have stagers that will help you. So again, one of the things as we're walking you through this is, you know, we want to be a resource for you too. We want to be a trusted resource as well. Yeah. So we have that
because we love it and it's fun, and there's so much knowledge to know. Like hardwood over the rugs is going to sell at a time when, and at that time, that was in the 90s, so carpet was actually in then, you know. So I thought I was doing the right thing, but they were like, no, there's a change, and people want the hardwood, and you're like, okay, thank God I trusted her.
Yes, absolutely. And so, you know, the house that I have listed, that I had the open house at today, they had a dog like ate through a room basically. And they put that dog, he was dog sitting, and it went in a room, and he had an anxiety attack, and he attacked everything. And so they're putting hardwood down versus carpet, you know, same kind of thing.
Does he have doorknobs?
He does have doorknobs. He's got mighty fine doorknobs.
Mighty fine doorknobs.
Oh my gosh. You know, that's the Lanigan household. You know, there are never surprises. And I would love a few of you people who've been in my Lanigan house growing up to say some of the things I could have used a little eyeball. All right. So what are the tests that you would think of for knowing that when you're getting a home ready, that it's ready for the public?
What's some of the tests?
Yeah, what would you do? Like, what would be your when you're looking around and you go into a house, and you know, I'll give you an example. So I went into that house today, and the magnets were on the wall. So I scooted them over so they'd be out of the pictures. But I didn't want to take them down without clearing that. But I forgot to. Now they're all smooshed over in the corner. But like magnets up on the fridge. Like, so people again get like, when you walk in a house, how do you test to see if it's ready?
It's interesting. And see, this is why I don't think I could be a sales agent, because I would have gone in there and just got a big box and just started throwing crap.
Well, I'll tell you what, you would the first time.
Yeah.
But then when you move people's stuff,
they get
real estate is very emotional. And
true.
And if you move their stuff without their permission, they really don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to just ask. I mean, but this is how it has to be, that give and take and that trust of a relationship.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people who are coming to look at your house, I think they too are really spoiled by HGTV. So you need to look around your house and say, if I was watching an episode of HGTV, would I see magnets on the refrigerator?
Right.
No, you wouldn't.
No,
you wouldn't. Would I see a bunch of bills sitting on the counter? No, you wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah, it's that kind of stuff.
And by the way, like, it is staged to start, and then after like a month of being on the market, all of a sudden everything starts creeping back. So one of the things that you're going to want to do is have this communication on an ongoing basis and build that trust that you talked about.
Yeah.
So my big test on it is, would the person who walked into that house, that stranger, have any idea who lived at that property?
Oh.
So that's it. So that's my tip for you. Like, because if they left a few pictures, again, they sneak back up pictures all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, is there again the post, like, you know, your diplomas on the wall? You know, is the, like, what is there that's giving you away?
Yeah.
And if you're there, they can't see themselves there.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest piece of this, is that if you're there, they're not there.
Right.
So you want to just get rid of your stuff. And again,
and you're moving it anyway, so it's not like it's going away forever. You just,
well, but the other thing is, like, you've already started moving, so now you have half as much stuff to move when the time comes to actually move.
It's kind of very exciting when you get to your next place and you open up the box and you go, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And then it's into the trash it goes, because you're like, I'm not putting that in my new house.
I purged so much. I got on such a roll with purging. It's a big joke with my daughter, because there was one summer when we were in the new house, and I was like, where are all the beach towels? And she said, you threw them away. You a purging maniac. I said, the beach towels?
Was I in my state of beach towels?
I was like, those are not personal, but apparently I was on a roll.
Well, they take up a lot of space.
Yeah,
they take up a lot of space, for sure.
Get rid of the beach towels.
And yeah, I hear you. Anyways, friends, so the takeaways on this is, consult professionals that have knowledge in this, and those that can help you through these steps. You know, we created our support for you through the things that we feel like you need.
Yeah.
And so that was really important to us, to make sure that you never felt alone, you know, through this process. And knowing that there's an army of people here to help you with it.
Absolutely. You know? And who enjoy it.
Yes, enjoy it.
Let us do what we like to do.
Exactly. And friends, where can you find us?
Well, I don't answer that question. I say be bold, get sold. Don't be trying to trip me up.
All right. Find the bold bus. We'll be there.
Find the bold bus.
All right, guys. Make it an amazing night, and we'll see you next Sunday at 6 p.m. Thanks so much.
Bye.